There are two things in the forefront of my mind at the moment. The first one is around, it's never been more important to ask somebody, how are you and how are you doing? Yes, we've got to get the work done. However, work is done by people. People are social beings and people are critically important to us. So let's be intentional and really listen to what's being said. The second aspect is around how do we make our work, our lives, indeed the world, more fairer and just. The inequalities and the imbalances between the haves and the have-nots seem to be getting bigger and wider. Indeed, it's turning into a chasm. Also, we need to think about the lost generation. These are the individuals who are struggling to get onto their first job. Indeed, individuals whose education has been inadvertently been impacted by the world we're in. So how do we, as a community, think about including proper inclusion, diversity, and belonging in the work that we do? The first one is around disruption is the norm. I've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's something that I struggle with. We all like to be in control. However, sometimes we can't control what we can't control, and we've just got to get over that particular piece. Now is the time to be bold and brave, and let's think about some of those internal hang-ups we have and some of those internal barriers that we feel that stop us from making the changes that we want to change. The second one is all around something more personal. It's around how I learn, how I unlearn, and how I relearn. How can I make sure that I'm using the opportunities that I currently have to make sure that I am grabbing experiences that make me more employable today, but also into the future? And the final learning is around talent and leadership. Think about those individuals who stood up and stepped up when they weren't asked. And think about those individuals who should have stepped up and they didn't. We are moving from a candidate-driven market to an organisational-driven one for a period of time. So how are we going to manage the influx of applicants we're going to have? Yes, AI has a role to play, but the historical norms that AI are sometimes based upon may not be what we need in the future. We must always remember people are more than just algorithms. The final aspect is about inclusion, diversity, and belonging. Organisations who get this right and get the results will mean they will cast a shadow over those who don't. We are far from where we need to be. Doing the basics and doing the basics well no longer shifts the dial. We actually need to look at how inclusion and diversity has been woven into all our candidate and our employee experiences, from our processes, our systems, and indeed our technology. Yes, leaders need to step up, but also us in TA and in talent also need to step up. We need to challenge the perceptions that we see. We need to challenge the biases. Some of them are conscious and some of them are unconscious that we see. And I'm convinced there are untapped sources of talent out there if we are just brave enough to think unconventionally.